Here we have giant. Oh. Welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector, and welcome to episode 8 of Coffee and Toys here on the CoolFigurez channel. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. If that's your thing, make sure you hit that bell icon so you stay notified when I do upload new videos. And if you do enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow, and it's free and easy for you to do. And guys, with that being said, once again, welcome to episode 8 of Coffee and Toys. I do want to open up by apologizing for skipping last week and not providing you guys with a Coffee and Toys. However, I was getting ready to go on vacation to the beautiful islands of Maui from the beautiful islands of Hawaii, and so I did not have time to record a Coffee and Toys for you guys. So I do apologize for that, but because of that, we are back with a lot of stuff to show off and a lot of stuff to talk about. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right on into this episode's toy haul, because it's not really this week's toy haul since it's been about 2 weeks now. So we have a combination of different things here of before vacation pickups, at vacation pickups, and of course when I got back vacation pickups. So starting with the first item I do have the brand new 10-inch Mikey Secret of the Ooze Pop Walmart exclusive that my friend Robert thankfully found for me, and it's going to be a staple of this desk. Every time I think I'm out, Funko pulls me back in with just something so fun, interesting, and unique. And how can I say no to this giant Mikey Pop, guys? I mean, he's literally my favorite Ninja Turtle, so it's like there was a no-brainer that I was going to want a giant Mikey Pop. The only Ninja Turtle pop that I have is the 1990s Mikey Pop where he's eating pizza, and that's the one thing I do have a gripe about. I wish this was that version of Mikey where he's eating a slice of pizza opposed to holding the donuts, but I'll take it anyways. It's a really cool pop, and I absolutely love it, and it's going to definitely become a staple here on the Coffee and Toys podcast table alongside the McFarlane Year 2 Batman figure statue eventually whenever those get released to Target and I'm able to get my hands on one of those. So that was the first thing that I did get prior to going on vacation, and it was amazing to grab. But I also managed to score 3 Mezco figures right here before I went on vacation. I'm gonna go ahead and move this knife because these figures were not cheap, guys, by any means. So I did manage to score an Agent Gomez, a Shri Gomez, and an original Doc Knock, not the Red Death version, just the original release. And honestly, I have to say I wanted the original release more than the Red Death release because he came with that death ray. That just was the selling point for me. I was able to find him brand new on OfferUp, so thankfully I got him brand new. I got both Agent Gomez and Shri Gomez on eBay used for great deals considering what they're actually going for on third-party markets, even used. So look out for these guys' reviews, not this week but the following week most likely. I'm super excited to review them. As you can see, if you follow me on Instagram, I've already begun shooting these guys and utilizing them in my toy photography because they are just so much fun, and I could not wait to start using them till after I did the reviews. So I instantly started using Doc Knock and Agent Gomez. Shri Gomez I got literally the day before I left for vacation, so I only got a few pics with him, but I have so many great ideas for him, and these guys are just so cool. I absolutely love them. They can mix in with so many different franchises and figures, and I cannot wait to explore all the endless possibilities I have with these guys in terms of toy photography. Agent Gomez and Shri Gomez are somewhat similar aside from their clothing, but they do bring such uniqueness to each figure, and I absolutely love both of them, and I cannot wait, like I said, to just utilize them more for toy photography. Doc Knock I've definitely been using already, especially since it's kind of like the Halloween time right now, so I've been utilizing him for some Halloween shoots to end off the month of October, and ending with one giant Halloween style shoot for obviously the day of Halloween here coming up on, well, today. So if you're watching this today on Sunday when it premieres on October 31st, we're already I'll have already posted it, so you can go ahead and check it out over on Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. And now that I think about it, I just realized that this is the Halloween episode of Coffee and Toys, and I didn't do anything to like spruce up the uh, area or anything. I just have so much stuff. I was planning on wearing a Halloween themed shirt. Maybe after I finish all this, I'll do a Halloween intro. I don't know. I'll figure something out. But I was just too excited to talk about not only the haul that I have here, but also about a lot of the toy news that I basically missed out on while I was away, but a lot to talk about and a lot to say. So yeah, guys, that was the first thing I picked up while I was before I went away, and like I said, I definitely cannot wait to start using these guys for more toy photography. So next up is gonna be my finds while I was on vacation. The second to last day that I was on the island, I decided why not go to Target and Walmart. There's only one Target and one Walmart on the island of Maui, if you did not know. So basically, you either find something or you don't. So first stop was Target, and I did manage to find the masked version of the retro Joker. And ironically enough, when I did get the other three versions, or the other three figures in the wave, I stated that I was pretty content with those. I didn't need any of the other ones, of the variants, the masked Joker, the unmasked Robin, the unmasked Batman. However, I do have to admit that out of all the variants, this was the one that I would want the most, because it's just so funny that the Joker could think that putting on this little tiny mask would actually hide his identity, given that he's still wearing the pink suit, the green shirt, and obviously has green hair and white face makeup, yet he thinks this little domino mask is going to hide his identity from everybody else, and no one will notice that this is the Joker, so I have to admit, I am pretty happy that I found this one. And given that, like I said, there's only one Target and one Walmart, this was the most interesting figure that I did find in the Target. There were a few other ones that I did pass up because I was just like, I could buy this just to be like it was a vacation find and whatnot, but I was pretty content with this. So I went ahead and just went home with this. But of course, like I said, there's one Target and one Walmart. So next stop was, of course, Walmart. And if you can't tell by now already what my Walmart find was, it was, of course, the brand new NECA Ultimate Casey Jones. And thankfully, they had two, so I was able to buy one for my good friend Robert as well. So I was able to bring one home for him. And alongside the Casey, I was also able to find those Ninja Turtle toy capsules that NECA released. I've actually already opened it, as you can see, but I'm going to go through each and every single one of them and open them here in front of you guys. I've actually already opened them like multiple times. Once when I was in Hawaii, just because I was so excited to see what was in them. Twice when I opened them for my TikTok and I filmed it all, and now again, of course, for you guys. So, but talking about first and foremost the Ultimate Casey Jones, it was kind of funny how I found it too, because we were walking through Walmart and I was like, you know what? There's one Walmart on this island. There's no way they're going to have anything. So we're walking, and of course, when you're walking through stuff, you tend to come through the electronics first in Walmart, and then the toys, the way they have it set up. Because we were also picking up some snacks and whatnot, so we had to go through the whole Walmart. And so when I was walking through the electronics section, in fact, I thought there was not a NECA Funko section. I was like, you know what? They don't even have one here. So I was like, wow. And then from the corner of my eye, I happened to catch a Funko Pop, and I was like, there it is. It's a very small one. I was like, oh man, all they have are Funkos. And then I walked a few more steps, looked to my right, and it was just a full shelf stock full of NECA figures, some that are hard to find, some that are pretty easy to find, but they did have the new Thing figure. They had the Shadow Warriors 2-pack, Motoyoshi and Rokusaki packs. They had the European exclusive Super Shredder. They, of course, had the two Ultimate Casey Jones and much more, as you'll see in the picture that I'm posting here. And as you can see, I was just so caught off guard finding them in all places, an island by itself, in one Walmart, that I collapsed to the ground in excitement and disbelief. I was just like, really? Because I haven't really been hunting for it, but my friend Robert has been, and he's been looking everywhere and anywhere. I was kind of under the mentality of, well, if I find it, I find it. If I don't, I'm cool passing on this figure. It's not a big deal. But he was hunting it and hunting, and he seemed to really want it. So when I happened to find it there, I was like, really, of all places, I had to travel hundreds of thousands of miles to a remote island with one Walmart to actually find it. But lo and behold, I did find it, and here it is, the ultimate Casey Jones from NECA. So I'm super happy that I was able to find it, and not only one, but also one for Robert. In fact, if I would have probably just found one, I probably would have just given it to Robert because, like I said, I was okay with passing it up, but he seemed to have really wanted this figure. But I'm super glad that I got two now because, obviously one for him and one for myself. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start talking about what came in after I got back. So the day I got back, essentially, this guy came in from Walmart, and surprisingly so, because it still said delayed on my app and where I had my order, yet it still said track shipment. So that was kind of an odd thing. So this guy was delivered on Wednesday, and it is the Imperial Shock Trooper, guys. This guy is super cool. The pauldron is glued down, so unfortunately, if you did buy multiples to take this off and just make them typical shock troopers, you're gonna have to do some decent customization if there's like glue residue and all that stuff. Along with the long barrel rifle, he did come with the basic, typical short barrel rifle that the clones usually come with. He does have that new clone body, which is really cool. It could be better in terms of scaling, but I absolutely love the clones and stormtroopers that come out of the Black Series line. And so yeah, you know what? I noticed I didn't even give you guys up close looks of these guys, but you know what? They're kind of hard to pose and move around. So look out for my reviews where you'll get to see more up close versions of them. But next up, we did get the Amazon exclusive Artillery Trooper right here. So as you can see, he is nicely well done. He's using the new Stormtrooper body with the new Stormtrooper blaster, the new pauldron right here that has some nice wrinkling, and a nice backpack on the back. And all of these things are removable. However, they did sculpt in some thermal detonators right here, and they didn't make them removable, which makes no sense because they're basically fully sculpted, and they just one little detail that could have made this figure that much better. But of course, with the Artillery Trooper, you do also get his artillery cannon that he uses in the Mandalorian Season 2 episode when the Dark Troopers steal Grogu and Boba Fett and Mando team up. So like I said, there's just that one thing that Hasbro could have done to take that figure above and beyond, and they decided not to. So last but certainly not least, and actually my favorite out of all three of these, and in fact, had I not gone these figures, which I have been considering grails for myself for a while now, it would have been my favorite figure out of this week's haul, and that is the Imperial Crosshairs figures, guys. I've already taken the review picks for this guy. Man, do I have to say, this guy is epic. This guy has got to be one of my favorite releases in the Black Series for a long time. Well, that's not true, because I did like the Zero figure that they just released a lot, because he was just really great in articulation and whatnot. In fact, I actually got some really cool shots of him on a black sand beach, so look out for those coming next week. But this guy just looks super cool in his super black armor and whatnot, and the green visor and the redone helmet and everything. It's just photographed so well. Like I said, I've already done the review pics for him, and he just looks amazing. In fact, I'm really hoping he scales well with Gomez. Oh, look at that. They can team up. Oh, yeah, because this guy is super cool, guys. I have to admit, I'm so mad that they made this guy a Walmart exclusive, because I really wish he would be available to each and every single collector that would want him, because this guy is just epic. I like him way more than the original Crosshairs. I think it really is the black armor all done in black is what really does it for me, and that green visor that just, ooh, you know me here on the CoolFigurez channel, I absolutely love the color green, and the green and black combo is just one of the best combos, just like the green and red. But this thing is just such an epic figure. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I'm so glad it does scale well with Mezco Gomez's, because I will be doing some crossovers with those guys, because this guy is just super cool. I don't know what it is about it. I just absolutely love it, and it's weird to say that because I didn't really necessarily like his design in the show itself. Was like, it's kind of whatever, whatnot. but in translating it to this action figure, it actually looks amazing, and I'm actually really impressed by it. And like I said, I'm super mad that it is a Walmart exclusive, because it should be available to any and all collector that wants it. Much like this guy, this is, in fact, now that I think about it, these are all exclusives here on this table. This is a Walmart exclusive, Amazon exclusive, and of course Walmart exclusive, and technically another Walmart exclusive, and another Walmart exclusive, and this is a Target exclusive, and these are Mezco exclusives. So I just got a fucking table full of exclusives at this point, which is really bad to say in my opinion, because I feel like these action figures should be available to each and every single one of you that want them. We shouldn't have to try so hard to acquire and attain these figures, and even when we do attain them, it's like, oh, is our pre-order going to get canceled? Are they going to delay it? Blah 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 blah. Just like with the Batman Year 2 figures, I had those on pre-order, and I kept approving the delay, and what do? They just straight up cancel it and give me a $5 gift card. I could really care less about that $5 gift card, in my opinion, because that figure just meant so much more to me. It was a really great figure that I was really looking forward to, and that would have definitely made my top 10 figures of this year, and it still will once I acquire it, in my opinion, because it's such a great sculpt and also a great idea to give us both not only a statue but a figure 2-in-1. So there's actually been a lot of great figures released this year, so that's going to be a very hard list to make, but I'm very much looking forward to it and seeing how this year ends. However, I'll probably have to make that one in advance, as I may be going out of town for the holidays as well, so we'll have to see how it goes. But anyways, that's thinking far in advance, although we say far in advance when we think about a month or two ahead of time and how quickly it comes. But anyways, guys, with that being said, let's open some shit up. So I have the Joker here, masked and everything, ready to be opened up. I have already opened up this Funko Pop, I have to admit, but obviously it's a Funko Pop. You just pop it back in and make it look like it's brand new. So I could have just not told you guys that, and you would have thought it was brand new. But that's not why I wanted to open it up. There's actually the background print that comes with this that is actually really fucking cool, guys, that I really want to show you. And I wanted to not forget to show you, so I wanted to unbox it here. And we're also going to go through, of course, the little toy capsules right here. And, of course, the toy news of the week, which, as you can see, here's the front, here's the back. We got a lot to get through, so first and foremost, why don't we open up some toy capsules. First, let me get a sip of this coffee from this beautiful Maui mug that I did pick up while I was on vacation. Could not come back from Hawaii this time without a coffee mug. I made that mistake last time, and I was not going to make it this time. So, first and foremost, there are 9 of these. This is number 1. And we get a little 1990s logo TMNT keychain. So that is number 1. Capsule number 2. We get some shoelaces. So that's really cool. I mean, it just says TMNT on there. I think these would be a lot cooler if they actually had like the actual Ninja Turtle heads on there, but it's still cool. Shoelaces, if you happen to need some shoelaces for some shoes that you got, you can have some there. Next up, we do have number 3, which is a plastic wristband with the 1990s TMNT logo right there. It does say 2021 Viacom on the back, so you do know it's a new product just rebranded for this time period. So anyways, next up we do have capsule number 4. Is that 1, 2, 3? Yep, capsule number 4. And it is a pencil eraser. I can always definitely use this. I always need an eraser because my pencils never have erasers, so that will definitely come in handy at some point. So number 5, we have stickers. Now see, this is what should have came on the shoelaces. It's just, little heads of the Ninja Turtles, but it is what it is. We just got the TMNT 1990s movie logo. Looking at number 6, we do get another keychain, and it is a TGRI canister keychain, which I actually really do like. I love the greens on this, the bright greens, and as I stated, I've been holding it upside down. Sorry, guys. As I stated here on the CoolFigurez channel, I absolutely love the color green. So I love this whole bag and packaging and all these little capsules. I'm definitely going to be keeping them and putting things in them. So looking at capsule number 7, we do get an Iron-On Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sewer patch right there. So coming to the second to last capsule right here, we do get a Raphael pin, which a lot of you have actually acquired already through the NECA Loot Crate. They did come in a pair with a Casey Jones pin, which is not, unfortunately, in this set, which makes sense. They had to make it somewhat exclusive to the Loot Crate some way, somehow. So, the 9th capsule is a little TMNT poster magnet. So, we'll just go ahead and... Oh, look at that. It can actually stay right here. So, we'll keep that on there. That's a new addition to the podcast table right there. So that is all 9 capsules out of the bag, so we no longer need that. So yeah, with that being said, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the Joker first, because Casey Jones is kind of leaning up against Mikey right here, so just makes it a lot easier to take a look at this Joker first. So before we rip open to this guy, let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging right here. It is exactly the same packaging that you get with the original version of the Joker, and just on the back you do of course get the mask portrait of him. You do also get the same accessories with him, so it's literally just a repaint of the mask. And if you look at the body and everything, it's literally just a repaint. So of course, to open up this Joker figure, I of course have my Batman knife, because, well, what else would I use? So obviously always cut away from you guys and kids. Obviously this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children, so if you're a child, please turn away and turn this channel off, because this is for adult collectors. And I'm just basically trying to say something until I get this guy open, because I don't like those awkward silences. I don't know about you guys, I just really hate awkward silences, so I try my best not to give you guys those awkward silences. And not only this part, my podcast, but also in my reviews. I try to keep them moving, try to keep them going. I do tend to ramble a lot. I have to admit, I do ramble a lot, and I try to limit that when I can. But there are times when I just absolutely love a figure so much that I can't help it. I'm going to ramble. So I am almost done opening this guy up. I apologize. They just really tied this down right there. But with that being the last thing that's holding him within his plastic boundaries, we're going to go ahead, pull this guy out. And here we have the Retro 66 masked McFarlane Joker. So, like I said, it is exactly the same figure that we got, in the regular version, just with the mask painted on at this point. So that's really cool. I mean, it looks like the mask was actually sculpted onto this figures, because it is raised. It's a raised ridge. It's not actually just painted. So that's pretty cool. They probably just sculpted an alternate head. I did notice that the hair pieces on all these figures are glued on, because my Robin did fall off. If you want to see that in the review, it'll be linked up. It will be linked up above right here. But yeah, so it looks like they did sculpt an alternate head for this Joker, because the mask is ridged right up above the head. So it's not like they just painted a pink stripe on the face. So with the Joker being free and clear of his plastic bounds, let's go ahead and throw this to the side and open up the newest addition to the CoolFigurez Coffee and Toys podcast table, which is of course this giant 10-inch Mikey Pop. So I'm going to see if I can get Casey Jones to just stand up on his own. And I feel like he's going to fall over. A second I move my hands up, he's already tipping. Look, there he goes. So let me see if I can get him to... There we go. He feels a little more balanced out right there. Whoop. See if we can move him forward so we have a little more space. So, oh, I forgot we have to put this guy out now. I gotta figure out how he's going to be able to stand. Let's see. Move one leg forward. It's all about balance, guys. Look at that. It's all about balance, counterweighting it and everything. And also finding a flat surface. This table is not the flattest. It is one of those cheap plastic party tables. So it does bow and bubble at points. So thankfully I found a spot for him to stand, and I found Casey. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and rip open into this giant Mikey Pop right here, which is going to be so much fun. So taking a look at the packaging right here, here's the front, here's the side, here's the other side, here's the top with Mikey right there at the very top, of course, and of course a look Man, this thing's giant. At the back right there with all the other pops in this wave. I'm really surprised they didn't go with Super Shredder for this giant pop, but I'm still really happy that they went with Mikey. Man, I knew that was going to happen. So, hold on, guys. Give me a sec. I got to not only stand him back up, but I also got to pop his head back on, and then we'll be right into ripping open into this Mikey pop. But, of course, Casey wanted the spotlight first, so we'll give him a bit more attention till we get him to stand on his own. And you know what, guys? We're just going to lay him down because he doesn't want to stay standing right now. So with that being said, let's go ahead and open up this pop. So this thing does open right here. And I am not going to ever resell this thing because this thing is just way too fucking cool, so I don't care. But I do want to keep the box nice and neat just because it looks nice. But first and foremost, I wanted to show the background print that they do include with this pop, which is very well done, very well nicely detailed, and the artwork is just amazing. I'm just blown away that Funko, out of all companies, gave us such a beautiful artwork printing background for this pop. And I actually do want to hang this somewhere because it's just so beautiful, and it just has all the amazing looks and feels of the 1990s movies. So super excited about this. Super cool. Surprised we haven't gotten anything like this from NECA or something. But yeah, out of all people, Funko gave us this amazing background print. So I'm going to go ahead and slip that right back into the box just to make sure it never gets damaged, or at least until I can find a nice frame for it, and then frame it and hang it somewhere. Because like I said, this is just, it's basically essentially a free print with this pop, in my opinion, because it's just that beautiful. You can literally just hang it up. So here we have giant... Oh. Alright, so here we have giant Mikey coming out of his plastic prison. Like I said, I did already open him up, which is why he kind of just fell like that. And I'm really surprised only Joker and Street Gomez fell, because this guy, he weighs a bit, and that drop kind of shook the earth a bit under my feet. So really surprised everybody else stayed standing, but that's pretty good, I guess. That's really good that you can tell that these guys can stand on their own pretty well if you find the right stance, counterbalance, and everything else, like I stated, along with this Joker. See, there's his. I'm just really hoping that nothing happened to this Gomez, because like I said, very expensive on the third-party market, even though I found it for a good deal. But anyways, guys, we finally got this giant hulking piece of plastic Mikey out of his little plastic prison, and here's a nice close look at him in the front, on the side, other side, and the back. And I have to admit, I do really like all the little intricate detailings that they found in this figure, like his nunchuck right there, the donuts, of course, in there. I didn't notice, oh no, they didn't. I was really hoping that one of the donuts was kind of half eaten. You can see the cube of anti-mutagen in there, but there's no such thing in there. But you get that with Tokar and Razar with the NECA figure. So this guy is going to be a permanent staple of this stand right here. So he will, of course, be standing right here next to the Batmobile. I didn't bring the Batmobile this time because I just had so much stuff in that box, just took up so much space. So he will be a permanent fixture right there. Eventually the Batman will be there, and then him. And I'm pretty sure that's all I'm going to have, because then I need this whole space just to bring out other stuff for you guys. So with that being said, guys, that is it for this episode's toy haul. So with that being said, let's get into this week's toy news. But before we do that, let me see if I can refill my coffee. I don't know how much I have left, so it could be a drop, it could be a full cup, it could be a quarter of a cup. So, with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get into this week's toy news. So starting off with McFarlane, they did release a gold label The Batman figure from the new Matt Reeves Batman film, which does look very much like the poster that was released last year during DC Fandom. We did get a surprise sneak peek look at the next wave of the McFarlane Retro Batman line, and it was of Joker and Batman. I don't know what I'm pointing at. I don't have Batman on this table, but it was of Joker and Batman in the swimming trunks from the episode when they actually go surfing. So that's really fun and interesting, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to pick them up just because they're such fun figures. So that's pretty much it when it comes to McFarlane toys this week. But Talking about something that we don't usually talk about, or a company we don't usually mention, but I do tend to collect here and there from, and they are a great company in general, and that is Diamond Select. Recently, they kind of dipped their feet into the Star Wars universe by giving us the Darth Maul and Boba Fett Diamond Select figures, and now they're continuing to put their foot in the water with a Diamond Select Stormtrooper. This guy is really cool looking, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to pick up two of them just to army build a bit and have two taller Stormtroopers. So, damn you, Diamond Select, but I am really interested because not only does it come with the regular blaster that they usually come with, it comes with a long blaster and the pistol blaster and also a mouse droid. So it comes with a lot of great stuff with it to make each Stormtrooper look at their own character. So super excited about that. I probably missed out. It's probably sold out by now. I'm not sure. I have to check back, but we'll find out. But I'm definitely gonna have to pre-order that. So moving on to my favorite toy company, of course, Mezco Toys. They did announce that Halloween 2 is back up for pre-order, the Mike Myers, and you will get 2 jack-o'-lanterns, 3 head sculpts, one being the Ben Tramer head sculpt, 11 hands, a knife, and a hammer, guys. So that is a great Michael Myers figure for you if you are a Michael Myers fan. I am, and I've stated this before, I am a horror fan. I do love Halloween, Scream, Friday the 13th, Chucky, Nightmare on Elm Street, all those. However, those are just other rabbit holes to dive into. And I actually almost dove into it by purchasing a Mezco Jason Voorhees. And I kind of pulled back and stopped myself. And I was like, do you want to go down this rabbit hole? Do you really want to go down this rabbit hole? And I was like, I kind of do, but I don't want to financially because I am trying to plan another trip to Hawaii for December. So I think I'm going to have to hold back still and not become a horror figure collector. Just in the sense because although he would make a great, oh man, see, I always talk myself into buying figures when I'm on here because I'm talking to you guys. In a sense, I'm kind of talking to myself because it's just me and a camera in a room. So I'm having to have a whole conversation with just basically myself. And so I'm basically talking myself into getting it because I'm just like, he would make a great crossover pick for Gomez, for Doc Nock, for the Black Skulls Brigade, for these guys, So I'm just like, why do I do this to myself? But we'll see what happens because I feel like if I get the Mezco Jason, I'm going to have to get the Mezco Freddy Krueger. I'm going to have to get the NECA Freddy, the NECA Jasons. And that's just a whole big thing because sticking with the monster theme, since that is basically it for the Mezco news this week, is just the new Halloween 2 Michael Myers pre-order. Going on to NECA, they did announce the Mummy packaging as well as announce the black and white NECA Mummy figure version. So not only do you get the colored version, but you're also getting the black and white. And aside from that, they continued on with their TMNT Universal line by showing off Leonardo as Igor. So a lot of figures to add to that horror shelf that I have right back here. That's itty bitty. And so I really have to pick and choose what I want to add to it. And eventually when I do get a larger horror shelf, I will look to add Jason, Freddy, Chucky, and all those great, horror icons and slasher film icons that NECA and Mezco has produced. But until then, I think I'm going to have to hold off because, like I said, I'm already going into the Universal Monster line. The colored versions only so far. However, the black and white versions are really looking tempting because it'd be really cool just to have them side by side, the colored version and the black and white, just to have them in comparison and just basically how it's been in history, like we've originally got them in black and white and eventually they colorized the movies and we got to see what they were intended to look like. But originally we had to just, color them in our mind because the movies were just black and white. I believe when I saw the original Frankenstein in a cinematic, not a cinematic, but a cinema class, I believe I did see the original black and white version too. So I didn't see it in color. I saw it in black and white. So that's why it's really tempting to want the black and white versions, but I really do enjoy the colored versions, and the colored versions are a lot more utilized in toy photography because the black and white would just throw everything off if your other figures aren't black and white. So I'm just rambling once again. But anyways, guys, continuing on with the theme of horror because it is NECA's 31 nights or 31 days of horror reveals. The packaging and the Nightmare Demon is starting to show up in stores. So the Nightmare Demon from the American Werewolf of in London is starting to hit stores shelves now, so look out for that if you want it. I do want 2 of those so that I can use them as just basically just demon Nazi army builder type things. Once again, it just looks so cool to have in terms of like, crossover picks, especially with Gomez, Doc Nock, even some Star Wars figs. So it'd be super cool to have those. Like I know I keep saying I don't collect horror figures, but I do have xenomorphs. I do have 2 xenomorphs, a xenomorph snake and a predator, saying I don't collect horror figures, and yet I collect horror figures. But I mainly have those for crossover picks, guys, because like I said, I love toy photography and I love doing crossover picks, and that's usually what I use those for. So that's why I have those. But that's why that Nightmare Demon is looking so tempting, because I do want it for that. The American Werewolf looks amazing too, don't get me wrong, but I don't really see myself utilizing that too much in crossover toy photography. Even though it is a giant werewolf, I find it a little difficult to utilize that, whereas the demon Nazis look a lot cooler facing off against Doc Nock, although Doc Nock could take on the werewolf. See what I do, guys? I talk myself into figures that I don't want, and then I want them because I just start talking about how cool they are to you guys, because of all the details and everything, and then I start thinking about how I can utilize them in my own collection, in my own toy photography. So I blame you guys for this addiction. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I absolutely love all sorts of toys and talking about toys, and I'm glad I can, talk myself into bonding these toys that I didn't think I wanted and utilize them for different things. You don't have to use toys for what they are, and that's the greatest thing about toy photography, guys, is that it is your own creation. Yes, you're utilizing characters of franchises and properties that are known, that are loved, that are, utilized in other ways, but it's your own story. It's your own story to tell. It's your rules. You can do whatever you want. If you want to take a picture of a toilet standing here doing this, you do that. If you want to take a high-res professional looking photo that's edited to the T and max and everything, you can. Like, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is that you have fun while you do it and you love the figures that you're playing with. So that's essentially what we're doing, right? We're playing with figures. So that's all I have to say on that. Tapped him and I thought he was going to fall over, but thankfully he didn't. So that is all the NECA news for this week. However, they did go to their Twitter and answer a few questions. So this was brought up to my attention by Zoroaste. You can find him over on Instagram. He does have quite a following, about 10K followers. So if you probably already follow him, if not, go ahead and check him out. He has some amazing toy photography, guys. But he also does toy photography or toy news, breaking news and whatnot. So NECA recently answered some questions on their Twitter, and he brought them to a story and to his attention. So I do want to give credit to Zoroaste over on Instagram. And so someone asked, do you guys have any news along the lines of the NECA Predator Ultimate figures? And NECA said, big and unexpected. I'm sorry, that sounded way dirtier than I meant it to. But that's what they said. So the next thing that they asked was, what about the Universal Monster and TMNT crossover line? What's to come? How big is the line? NECA answered, we have 8 figures done and more to come. So a long line, it seems like. I wonder what Shredder's going to be. I wonder what the Foot Soldiers are going to be. I wonder what Splinter's going to be. I wonder what Casey's going to be. I wonder what April's going to be. Donnie, Mikey, we've yet to see those 2 turtles. So is that 8 figures? Let's see. We have the 4 main turtles, Shredder, Casey, April, and Splinter right there. That's 8 figures right there. And then if they have more, obviously Foot Soldiers, and this isn't really a property. Like, they aren't really pulling from any one source in terms of like the 1990s or the cartoons. So they can essentially throw any character into this line, into this monster line, and transform it into a monster in a sense. So this is going to be a very interesting line to look out for, and very, very interesting indeed. So I am super excited about it. I want to know if you guys are super excited about the Universal Monster line crossover with the TMNT line, because like I said, it's just really, they're not picking from any one source. They're not picking from the 1990s movie, the cartoon, or anything like that. So they can essentially pick and choose which characters they want to bring into this line, it seems like, just, morphing them into Universal monsters. So this will be very interesting. Obviously, April may be Bride of Frankenstein. It just makes sense. Unless they bring Irma into it and make her Bride of Frankenstein and make April, the Catwoman or the Werewoman, because, she was the Catwoman in the cartoon show. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But they said they do have 8 figures done and more to come. So like I said, my predictions for the 8 figures are obviously the 4 main turtles: Donnie, Mikey, Raph, and Leo. Obviously the 2 we've already gotten. April, Shredder, Casey, and Splinter. Or, opposed to Splinter, a Foot Soldier, obviously. So, but I really think they're going to go with Splinter, in my opinion. So anyways, moving on. Someone else did ask about Back to the Future. They said it's been a little quiet on the Back to the Future front. Any news? And of course, NECA said 2 Ultimates coming soon and more to come. And the 2 Ultimates that are be coming soon, in my opinion, my guess, which should be a pretty good guess because they've already announced these 2 figures and how far they are, is of course the Back to the Future Part 2 Griff figure, and of course the 85 Doc Brown figures. So those 2 should be the first 2 to come next because they've already announced them. They've already shown them off. And more to come. I've heard they are going to be doing an accessory set in the near future, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really hoping for some Back to the Future Part 3 Marty and Doc figures. That would be really fucking cool, them in their Western outfits. I really want Marty in his Clint Eastwood outfit and then his, basic Western outfit that Doc finally changes them into, but I gotta have him in his Clint Eastwood outfit that he walks into, and he better come with a pair of boots as an accessory piece that he can just carry around because he wears his Nikes and whatnot. And so that's gonna be some fun territory to get into. As much as Part 3 is my least favorite of the movies, that's going to be some fun territory to get to when we get to those figures. And Part 3 is only my least favorite of the movies because, 1, I'm not the biggest Western fan, and 2, it just so happens to be the weakest of the 3. And it's not that it's a bad movie by any means. I can watch it, and it's a great, funny adventure movie. However, when you compare it to Part 1 and 2, it just doesn't compare. So, I mean, that's the only reason I think Part 3 is the least of the 3. But, I mean, in terms of other movies in general, I think Part 3 is way better than a lot of movies that we get or have gone in the near future or have gone in the recent past or future or whatnot, however you want to say it. So next up, someone else did ask about the Universal monsters, and they said, are we going to be getting any accessories for them, like the Frankenstein chair bed thing? And NECA did say that several of the monsters are going to be getting accessory sets. So my prediction are obviously the mummy, because they showed off the tomb, but they're not giving us the tomb. So obviously I want the tomb, the sarcophagus. I want the Frankenstein stuff, the chairs, the chains, everything like that. And so far, we've gotten the werewolf. They're giving us quite a few accessories with that guy, so I don't know what they can give us for that guy. The monster I am waiting for is, of course, the creature from the Black Lagoon. I absolutely love that movie. I just rewatched it, and it's just, I am waiting for that figure because, like I said, here on the CoolFigurez channel, green is my favorite color, and that is a green monster. So, but aside from that, like I said, I just absolutely love that movie, so I'm very much looking forward to it. So the last question that they did ask was, what is going on with the SDCC Channel 6 and Ming and Flash exclusives? And NECA, of course, gave the answer that is plaguing the rest of pretty much any industry at this point that exists, and that is it's stuck on a ship or a shipyard somewhere. And you cannot blame NECA for that, guys, because that is, like I said, happening in every industry right now. So that is just a universal problem here in the ports of LA. I've heard that in other ports things are moving, however in LA and in New York they're not. So I don't know what's going on there, but we gotta get our shit together so we can get our toys in our hands, because there's a lot of pre-orders that I actually should have gotten a long time ago, now that I think about it, that have pretty much been delayed till God knows when, and I just somehow randomly open up the door to a package, kind of like these guys just randomly appeared, I mean, but I'm not complaining. So anyways, guys, that is it when it comes to the news for NECA this week. And actually, right now that I have it on the back, let's talk about a company that we actually never talk about, and ironically, we never buy and open, but we did buy this time. And that is, of course, Funko, and that is some more TMNT Funko news. They did release some new TMNT Mirage Comics Funko Pops up for pre-order, and the chase versions are the black and white, and the regular versions are just the colorized versions. So you get the 4 Turtles, Shredder, and Casey Jones. Now these guys, like I said, every time I think I'm out of the Funko Pop game, they pull me back in with something, and I really do want these guys. They just look so cool. The ones from the 1990s movie looked really cool, don't get me wrong, but they weren't like, oh man, I gotta have them. And I did buy Mikey simply because I was buying something off GameStop and I needed another figure to get the free shipping, and Mikey's my favorite, and he was eating a slice of pizza. It looked really cool, so I bought him. And I'm actually really happy that I got him because, like I said, he's my favorite turtle, and honestly one of my favorite Funko Pops now that I think about it. So yeah, guys, but I do want this set because I absolutely love classic TMNT Mirage comic style turtles, and I have to admit these guys look really great. I have to admit, and so we'll have to see, but I'm hoping to get them. You know, we'll see. I don't know when they're supposed to release. I'm pretty sure they're gonna release sometime next year, as everything that's announced right now is. Although I have heard that if you order stuff during the Hasbro PulseCon event, it has already started to ship because, in my opinion, it's been here on the mainland or in the US for a long time now, because there's been so many photos and reviews given from other people. You know, in fact, when they announced Hasbro PulseCon, they sent a bunch of YouTube reviewers, you know, a box, and they had all the exclusives in there. So obviously they already had them here on hand, ready to ship. So if you did order anything from there, just know that you should be getting it very soon. So, speaking on Hasbro, we do have quite a bit of Hasbro news to talk about since they did have their PulseCon. So, starting off with the third Mandalorian build-up pack that we are getting, and that is the Mando and Grogu Muldoon Creus build-up pack. So, you do get the little ice spider. Obviously, you get Grogu and you get Mando a little frosted up and whatnot. This is another easy pass for me. I know it's our first season 2 Mando because he has the alternate thigh piece, but you know what? I have 4 fucking Mandos. I have the carbonized, I have the season 1, I have the Beskar, and I have the credit collection Mando. I don't need another Mando. I really don't. I mean, I don't. So I think this is going to be an easy pass for me. Unless I somehow come across it in store and find it, then maybe I'll pick it up just because I'm just like, oh, something to review for the channel. But if not, I'm not going to bend over backwards to try and pre-order it if it does happen to come up, you know, and whatnot. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys are going to be picking this up or if you pre-ordered it or not. So starting off with coming soon, they did announce Endor Leia 5s, a Jedha Patrol, Stormtrooper, Omega, Echo, and Bib Fortuna, and they showed off some packaging shots of them, so they look amazing. I think they all went up for pre-order by now. So get them. I'll be honest, guys, I don't know where they're going up. I don't know if they're exclusives or just open to any and all retails. I missed PulseCon because I was on a plane the entire Friday morning, so I just completely missed it, and then I was on vacation, so I did not watch any recaps or anything, so I apologize for that. But I am looking forward to that Jedha Patrol Trooper and obviously Echo and 5. So moving on, they did also show off renderings and figure renderings of the Mix Mayfield and the new Boba Fett when he's all nomadic and whatnot on Tatooine. And so that's cool. They didn't announce any pre-order dates for it, but they did show them off, you know, pretty much sculpted and in hand and stuff. So that's really cool that we're that close, at least. You know, they're not too far off from actually getting into our hands. So with that being said, they did also talk about the new COD Vamp Deluxe figure. Now, I have to admit, this character did absolutely nothing to me. I never really read the expanded universe, so when people were going all crazy for him, I was just like, he's just an imposter in Boba Fett uniform. So that was just my take on it. Don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people love him. He's a part of the lore and everything, so you know, if you want him, you can get him. He is a deluxe. I don't know why, but he is a deluxe figure, so look out for him. Next up, they did announce the TVC Cantina playset, which is basically half a playset. So you get half a playset. If you want the other half, you got to pay for it again. But it's pretty cool because you can go just from a regular cantina to a battle damage cantina, much like at the end of The Mandalorian. So you do a few different things with it in terms of toy photography. So they did announce 3 new Black Series multi-packs that are coming to Shop Disney and the Disney Parks Galaxy Edge's stores, and that is the Creature multi-pack, which comes with all sorts of creatures and whatnot. The First Order one, which comes with a First Order Trooper, Hux, and I believe a droid or something else. And of course, a droid pack, which comes with 4 little droids or 3 little droids and a K2SO version or something like that. These are just typical multi-packs that they're trying to push off on Disney stores and whatnot. Not too many interesting characters in these. If you want some background characters, this is basically the packs that you want. But as I've stated before, my biggest thing are troopers and Jedi, and this basically has 1 trooper. And I'm pretty sure he's going to get a single release eventually. And on top of that, he's a First Order trooper, which I really don't collect unless I find on stupid clearance because, well, there's just not the characters or the troopers that I'm looking for. So that is basically it when it comes to Star Wars news from Hasbro. But of course, Hasbro also owns G.I. Joe. And while I don't collect a lot of G.I. Joe, it is a fun franchise that I do like, and I do have the Scarlet from the G.I. Joe series, or the Snake Eyes movie. And I do have some Cobra infantry troopers that I was using for army builders against my Mezco Gomez's until I got some Black Skulls almost immediately afterwards, which basically took over, but I can still use them in other shoots for them and whatnot. So, but that is a very fun franchise that I've been keeping my eye on, especially with the whole beginnings of it, how they really messed with the guns and made them look very childish and toyish because they're the whole stigma behind guns and whatnot. Whereas now they've done a whole 360 or a full 180. In fact, because they did a 360, they just beat back to where they started. They did a whole 180, and with these new figures that they announced, they did announce also that they had more realistic looking guns, which is really cool, which makes me really more interested in this line, because the reason I really wasn't interested in that line was the fact that the guns look so bad and so weird. It's like, I understand the theory behind it, but as a toy photographer, when you're taking pictures of those toys and they're utilizing those guns, it just takes away from that real life aspect, and there's no way, as much as you pose the figure, as much as you fuck with the lighting and the setting and everything, they're not going to look real or human like because of that one weapon. It's just going to throw it off too much. Whereas these ones actually have realistic looking weapons, and they're highly detailed, which is really nice. And some of them even do have removable magazines, which is really cool for a Hasbro product. So they did announce Outback, which is a really cool looking guy, and I have to admit, I don't know this character one bit, but I kind of do want to pick him up just because he looks so badass, and he can pretty much fit in anywhere and be like a crossover pick figure once again. They did also announce Cobra Vipers, so that's pretty cool. More army builders for that. They announced a more comic accurate and cartoon accurate Storm Shadow. They did also announce Spirit, and instead of being a crossbow or bow and arrow type of guy, he is a sniper now, and that's what I'm saying. They could have just gone the route of giving him a bow and arrow, but they said no, we're going to make him a sniper, and they gave him a really cool sniper. He does, of course, get his eagle, which can come with both the wings spread out or tucked in, so that you can sit him on his shoulder, however you want to utilize him. They did announce that the Batbot is going to be coming sometime soon. No pre-orders were announced, but that is coming soon. They did announce Crocmaster and Fiona. I believe he went up for pre-order. Cobra officers were also announced, and these guys come with those guns that have removable magazines, and they come with all sorts of pockets and whatnot to put those guns and magazines away. And the last reveal that they did have were some Alley Viper troopers from Cobra. Now, I have no idea what Alley Viper troopers are, but people were excited about them. People have been wanting them, so I'm super excited that they finally introduced them into those lines. Like I said, I love army builders, so a lot of these are great. I love crossover figures that can be utilized in different places, much like Outback, Spirit, and, obviously, the Vipers and whatnot as army builder crossover figures. So I definitely am excited about those figures, and if I come across them in stores, I will definitely be picking some up. But last but certainly not least, we're going to talk about the Loyal Subjects Best Action Figures, because they did announce Wave 2 of their TMNT line, which I have to admit I am not the biggest fan of their of their Ninja Turtle figures. However, one figure in particular did catch my attention in Wave 2. Starting from the bottom, they did announce a Foot Soldier, Bebop, Casey, and of course, Shredder. And Shredder is, of course, the figure that caught my attention. He just looks absolutely well done. He just looks, out of all the figures that they've done in the TMNT line, he looks the best out of all of them, and I have to admit, he may be just a cool one to pick up and have on the side displayed. So we'll see what happens when he comes out. I don't even think they've released the actual TMNT original 4 Turtles yet, so I don't know when they're going to release Wave 2, but I believe they just went up for pre-order, or I could be wrong. They could have just revealed them. Like I said, I just got back from vacation, guys, so I've kind of been out of the loop out of a lot of things, and in doing my research for these notes, I kind of just wrote down a lot of stuff real quick and didn't have too much backup research information on them. But yeah, guys, that is it when it comes to this week's toy news. I know I missed out last week, which I'm pretty mad about because I wanted to talk about the new Batman trailer. I absolutely loved it. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Did it hype you up more for the Batman movie, or did it turn you off? I mean, I've heard both happening to people, so it hyped me more up for the movie, if anything, so I'm super excited. And I know Robert Pattinson was supposed to come in a lot bigger and bulkier, but I feel like with it being his second year as Batman, you know, in the sequels, there's time for him to bulk up and become prime Batman. So I have a lot of hope for it, a lot of great positivity for it. I really hope we get a good Batman movie. I never want a bad Batman movie, you know, so I never want to hope for a bad Batman movie, regardless of who's playing Batman. I just want a good Batman movie. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining me on episode 8 of Coffee and Toys here on the CoolFigurez channel. And if you did enjoy it, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. But with that being said, guys, I've been your host, Jesse the Bat Magical, aka the Buff Collector, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Coffee and Toys here on the CoolFigurez channel. If you did enjoy it, please remember to hit that like button. That way I know you guys are enjoying the content that I put out, as well as helping the channel grow. And if you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It is a very small goal of mine to try to reach at least 1 new subscriber per new video that I put out, so please be my 1 new subscriber for this video. Thank you so much in advance. And if you guys subscribe, my videos will pop up on your feed for you, and you don't have to go searching for the CoolFigurez channel. And even better yet, if you go ahead and hit that bell icon after you hit subscribe, they'll pop up in little notifications for you to see whenever I do upload a new video. But with that being said, guys, please, if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram at CoolFigurez for my review pics. And I do have a separate Instagram account for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out. If you like what you see, leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys want to see the unboxing of any figures that I do reviews on for this channel, please check me out on TikTok at CoolFigurez. That's where I do all my unboxings, because when I get a new toy, guys, I am like a child and I cannot wait to rip it open and play with it. So I don't have time to set up my YouTube studio, so I just film it on my phone real quick and upload it to TikTok. So check me out at CoolFigurez. So once again, I just want to say thank you so much to this channel sponsor, VRare Store. Check them out for all your Funko Pop, anime, and Pokemon card needs. And of course, use code CoolFigurez at checkout for 10% off your order. VRare Store, check them out, guys. So with that being said, guys, whether or not you're a subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it. As always, I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Magical, aka the Buff Collector, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.